Hi everybody! So I'm going to answer another question here and it's from Michelle. I believe it's Michelle. So hi Michelle, if you're watching. You asked, is it expensive to be raw vegan in Fairbanks, Alaska? Can you do a video on how you budget, spend to be raw? So I most certainly can. This is all good questions, right? All good questions, because especially when you're in a cold climate, it's very interesting to know how you can be fully raw when, and I guess low fat raw vegan, when that's kind of, to have it more ideally, much better, you'd want to be in a tropical warm climate, right? But you most certainly can be raw vegan in cold climates, extreme cold climates, and you can be raw vegan, low fat raw vegan in Alaska, of course, too, okay? So it is expensive to be raw in Fairbanks, Alaska. That's where I'm at, you guys. I was born and raised here in Fairbanks, Alaska. The cold, the darkness, the screwy light that we have throughout the year is all I know. And so that means when it comes to food prices and just with any living expenses up here, it's expensive. But for me, since it's all that I really know, it's normal to me. The prices are very normal to me. So I know when I went low fat raw vegan in August 2013, and I was watching, and I still watch other wonderful raw vegan YouTubers, other raw vegan YouTubers on the YouTube here, and they do their hauls and their fruit and vegetable videos, and they show you how much they pay for their produce. My jaw literally drops because I'm in shock at how cheap those prices are. And a lot of you, or a lot of them, are actually kind of, oh, I wouldn't say complaining, but they're saying about how expensive it is. And I'm like, what? You gotta be kidding me. That is so cheap compared to what I pay, you know? But I mean, that's why I'm like, that's why I say you guys have it so darn good where you're at. You don't know how good you've got it. But I know a lot of you other raw vegans or plant-based people who are in cold climates, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Your guys' prices are probably just as bad as mine, probably even worse in some places, because I know there's some produce items that I get that I think are expensive, but some of you are telling me that it's actually more expensive where you're at and you're further south than I am. I'm like, what? How is that possible? But it is on some items, you know? But it's just interesting how that works. But for a majority of the items, I find that Alaska, I mean, you can make it happen and of course do it, of course, but how I budget and how I spend on my raw fruits and vegetables is, number one, of course, I budget my money. I'm sure a lot of you guys, hopefully you guys budget and know how to budget your own money too for yourself. But you know, you have a job and you know how much it pays you, and you know how much you have to set aside for each living expense. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I gotta pay for rent, I gotta pay for utilities, water, heating, and heating is a big expense for me in Alaska because I'm in an Arctic environment, so I'm have to kind of invest in making sure I'm warm, so I'm paying for the heat. And for some of you who are in warm tropical climates, in the hot climates, I'm sure you guys have to set aside expenses for cooling, AC, air conditioning. So it's completely different worlds we live in, which is just amazes me. But you know, I make sure I have enough money for the basic necessities that you need. But of course, food is a basic necessity that you need. And I know when I went low fat raw vegan, it was, number one, it was one of the best decisions I've made in my entire life. And I am never going back to my old ways, my old habits of eating. I know I am raw for life. I mean, it's just, I've been this way for so many years now that I'm just like, I'm not getting off of this. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. It's a healthy habit. It's the way I've learned that it's the way the human body was meant to eat. And so raw fruits and vegetables is the only option for food. So that's one conclusion that I put in my mind, that I've realized that raw fruits and vegetables is food. I have to focus on that. And it's not that I have to, it's like I want to, because I know it's good for me and it's what my body needs. And because when I went low fat raw vegan, I mainly went for health reasons, and I was in so much tremendous physical pain from my running injuries that there was no way I was looking back. So I went low fat raw vegan overnight. But I mean, from that point on, I'm like, I am investing in my health. I choose to invest in my health. So I make sure I have enough money set aside to pay for my raw fruits and vegetables. So that means a lot of the other material items that's in our lives, and a lot of people, other raw foodies, you guys know, when you go plant-based or raw vegan, you find yourself really wanting to simplify life and simplify the stuff in your life. And so that means material items that you have, you kind of just want to get rid of your material items. So that's one thing that I kind of do, is I kind of help sell some. I've been selling over the past couple years, selling some items that I already have and really simplifying all the stuff that I have, and not hanging on to so much stuff, and having some extra cash that way helps pay for raw fruits and vegetables every now and then too. And I know also, I think having that, I like having that mindset of investing in my health. Like, I know raw fruits and vegetables are expensive, but I would rather pay the high expensive prices for raw fruits and vegetables than paying for medication and pills and Tylenol and all that other junk and all this other I guess pharmaceutical stuff that everybody else takes. I would rather invest in fruits and vegetables and pay for that than rather paying for the medication and stuff later on in life and even throughout life. Because that's one thing I've noticed, is when I went low fat raw vegan, you rarely get sick. You rarely get sick. You don't have to take women's 1-a-day pills. You don't have to take vitamins or mineral pills or anything, because your vitamins and minerals are right there in the food that you're buying. And so the food that you buy, investing in that is the best way to go, because you save eventually. When you look at it as a whole, you actually save in the long run, because later down in life you see a lot of these elderly people just spending so much money on medical bills and medications and pharmaceuticals and all that stuff, and it's not needed. And so one thing, it's really not needed when you are taking care of yourself. Just my opinion, okay guys? Just my opinion based off my observations from other testimonials from other long-term raw vegans and stuff. So, but that's why number one, I choose to invest in my health, and I choose to be happy and feel good in my body. And that's one thing that helps me have that mindset of budgeting correctly and paying for raw fruits and vegetables. It all ties in here, guys. Promise me, it all ties in. Is that having that mindset of that it's good for you. I mean, for me, I don't want to go back to what I was feeling when I was eating like everybody else does. I'm eating cooked foods and animal products and processed foods and stuff, even grains and oats and stuff like that. Even that, I choose fully raw. I choose fully raw because that's optimal, and it's what I feel the most best and happiest and the best results too for me, you guys. But I remember how I felt and my mindset when I was eating poorly in the past. I saw what that led to, and I don't want to live my life that way. I don't want to live my everyday life that way, and it was horrid. And I remember the diet merry-go-round mindset it put me in, and the constant, I mean, you guys know, and just not feeling good, being sick, getting the standard sickness all the time, that's not needed. But when I went fully raw, all of that stopped, and it got completely out of my life. So I'm like, yes, that's another point that helped me and still helps me to this very day, know that like, hey, yeah, I'm investing in my health. I like this so much better, so I'm going to spend that more on fruits and vegetables to to get the results that I want, that I know are right. Because I mean, life, you kind of want to look at it as a picture too, that a bigger picture, that it's more than money, you know, it's more than just saving a buck, you know. I know we need money in order to pay for fruits and vegetables, but I think that's where your faith comes in, because I know for me, you guys, I do classify myself as a Christian, and when I went low fat raw vegan, I got really strong in my faith, and I became a strong believer, and I've realized that we rely on God for everything, for just breathing every day, everything in our life. He's the one that provides the food at the store. He's the one that provides the seeds for the farmers to plant the fruits, and for the people to harvest it, and for the people to drive the trucks to transport it to you. I mean, he's the one that keeps all of that together so you can have access to it. And so he can, you know, and so I'm so freaking thankful every day and every time I go shopping for fruits and vegetables too. But he's also the one that gives you strength to go to work, and the motivation to go to work and to do the things that you do to obtain what you have. He's the one that gives it to you. So I think having your faith kind of plays a part in it too. And even if you don't have any money, you know what, when you rely on God, he provides. I've heard so many testimonials and circumstances from people who've had nothing, like literally nothing, no money in their pocket, and God still provided food, good, right food for them. I'm like, that is amazing. And provided shelter for them, and eventually got them back on their feet, like that too. It's amazing what God can do. But that's why I think it ties in a whole bunch of other things. But that's kind of how I budget and spend. I mean, I think your mindset plays a good part in it, as well as your faith and everything, and then of course your life circumstances. But I think you of course you weigh your options. What do you want out of your life? And for me, I want to be happy. I want to be pain free. I don't want to be paying so much money in medical bills, and I want to take care of myself, because I'm the one living in this body, and I'm the one that's got to live forever, how many years God has planned for me on this planet. I'm the one that's in this body, and I know I want to take care of it, because I have already felt physical pain and suffering and health and everything, and I don't want that. And all of that comes with a poor diet and the foods that you eat, and a poor lifestyle that you lead. And so I feel like I have found the light, and I choose fully raw, and I choose to spend, even if it's my last dollar, I'm going to spend it on raw fruits and vegetables, because I know that's what's going to make me happy, that's what's going to give me the best results, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You know, that's all that matters at the end of the day, because you can be eating junky foods, animal products, and saving all this money and everything, but are you healthy? Are you happy in your life? You're still going to be ending up getting sick most of the time, and you're not going to have experienced life to the fullest like you really were meant to be and kind of should be, you know. And you don't want to end up actually having a broken down body later in life either. And so that's why I think it's really good to invest in your health and pay the expensive prices for it. And that's what I do. And that's also another motivating factor to me, you guys, that it helps me, even though it's expensive up here, it helps motivate me to move to a warmer climate where the expense isn't so high for fruits and vegetables, where I can grow my own, at least one fruit tree, you know, but to try and grow my own fruit, and to at least have access to farmers markets and other farmers where it'll be a lot cheaper. But that's how it is for me, you guys. And do I buy all organic? No, I don't. About half my produce is organic in my fruit and veggie hauls, but I try to follow the Dirty Dozen list and the Clean 15 list. So I try to follow that, because buying organic is even more expensive, more outrageous. And but again, at the end of the day, you guys, you do the best that you can. you do the best that you darn can at the end of the day, you know? And that's all that really matters too. And so I just find that it's more worth it paying the extra expense for good health and happiness and a good quality of life every day than to try and save a buck and eat poorly and live a life like most other people do. I don't want that. For me, I want what God truly intended for us. And since I know this world isn't a perfect world, we do the best that we can, but we still can experience a shred of that paradise that he talks about that God talks about. And it all really starts with what you put in your mouth. It really does, because that's what determines how you feel, how your body how you react on everything in life, and just your overall being, you know, every day. And I choose to be at the highest level as I can, because I've already been at the lowest level. And just when you thought you were at the lowest level, sometimes it can go even deeper, and it's like, you know what, I'm not going there. I'm not going there no more. And I choose raw. So that's how I do it. So sorry you guys if this video's gone on long enough. There's just lots to say, you know. But most certainly, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it motivated you guys in some way or inspired you in some way. I'm just sharing with you guys, just sharing with you if it helps in any way. And just remember, you guys, you can most certainly be low-fat, raw vegan in cold climates. Most definitely. Make it happen. You can make it happen. I'm making it happen. We can do this, guys, most certainly. So remember to love being raw, you guys. Put a big old smile on your face today. I hope I did that for you guys. And I'll see you guys next video, okay? Bye, guys.